Donnie and Dolly. The team is supported by ableauctions.ca. Closing your business? We can help. And King of Floors, your vinyl, laminate, and engineered flooring superstore.
Brian from Nanaimo texting into the Delaney's OK Tire and Langley inbox. Dollywall, is Japan close? It's on the other side of a body of water.
That's Brian in Nanaimo?
Yes.
On the Delaney's OK Tire in Langley.
No response?
Inbox. No, I listen, I didn't do great in social studies. I'm not going to deny it. But I should have said Windsor in Detroit. I screwed up.
There you go. It is Thursday, and all of our guests on a Thursday are brought to you by White Spot. A great game deserves a great meal. Enjoy White Spot's famous burgers made with secret triple O sauce and served with
Kennebec fries.
Kennebec fries. They're big in Windsor. Or to take out online at whitespot.ca as we bring in our regular Thursday guest, NHL Analyst Supreme, John Shannon. How are you, sir?
Good, boys. Rick, I hope you're not doing your best Sarah Palin imitation when you said she could see Russia. When she could see Russia from her backyard.
Yes, no. You know what, John? These guys get me.
You can see Japan from Port Hardy, can't you? I mean, come
on.
But
John, tell me that Windsor and Detroit are close. Please tell me that.
And the fascinating thing about Detroit and Windsor is from Windsor you have to go north to Detroit.
Yes,
wow,
that's right.
Wow,
yeah,
wow. But they are close, right, John?
They're a tunnel apart or a bridge apart.
Thank you.
And
That's
what
I meant.
The new bridge being built, of course, is the Gordie Howe Bridge.
Gordie Howe Bridge. Yep.
Yeah. You good with the Windsor Detroit facts now? We're all done.
John, let's stop the social studies class. Let's get to hockey.
John, how would you wrap up? How would you wrap up the Canucks season? How would you describe it?
I can't do it on a family radio station. No. I can't do it. Listen, it was sad.
Yeah.
More than anything, it was sad.
Yeah.
With the talent that's on this team, with the potential that you saw in the bubble, particularly, it was like the darn roller coaster at Playland. It was just sad. I don't know. I mean, is it rectifiable? Sure, it's rectifiable. They have good, talented young guys. They got to get them signed. They got to find a way to spend some money. But yeah, it's possible.
I think I've asked you this question about Jim Benning and Travis Green, but what's Francesco Aquilini's reputation outside of Vancouver?
It's funny when you go to a Board of Governors meeting, and I've been to a few, and obviously have friends that are on the board. They don't talk very much about the other guys.
Yeah.
They only talk about their own teams. If you walked in, for instance, and said to Jim Dolan, "Hey, what about the Vancouver Canucks?" He wouldn't give two hoots.
Mm-hmm.
They're business partners. They are business partners through and through. But at that point, it becomes feudal, what I would describe as feudal lords. Dolan's got Manhattan, and Francesco's got the Lower Mainland.
Are you surprised Jim Benning is keeping his job? At least that's what it looks like.
The last 7 to 10 days have been so strange. I am a little bit. Yet at the same time, if you take a step back and you look at some of the player development, perhaps Jim should keep his job. I was told as late as last night that that's the way it's going to be, as Rick has tweeted out a couple of times, that Jim's going to have a chance. The issue becomes, and this is a very Vancouver thing, everything's so bloody public.
Yeah.
Everything is just out there. The Jeff Courtnall stories, Daniel and Henrik coming back, Stan Spiel, part of the player interviews. Everything is there.
Yeah.
There is no discretion at all in Vancouver. And give credit to the guys in the media. To you guys. I mean, Rick, you've done a marvelous job the last 10 years doing this. And guys like Sakaris do a good job. And Thomas Drance has come back from being a PR guy to go to the other side and done a really good job. But there's no secrecy in Vancouver.
Yeah.
which is absolutely phenomenal when you think about it. Every other town has secrets. Not in Vancouver.
When I look at today's a big day, John. I'm hearing on the Travis Green front. I'm optimistic because I am an optimistic person. I'm not negative like my co-host. I'm hoping they get a deal done. Are you hearing anything on Travis?
Here's what I've been told. Within an hour of the game last night ending, I was told that we would know in 36 hours. We will know everything in 36 hours. So we don't know anything yet today, so I'm expecting by the end of work tomorrow, we will have an indication that Travis is in or Travis is out. And I do think that there's a real appetite in the organization from a guy like Jim Benning and from ownership to make sure Travis Green stays. So I'm very optimistic too, Rick.
Thank you.
Because we all know Travis wants to be here. We all know that. He's made no bones about that, publicly, and quite frankly, he's made no bones about that privately either.
Yeah. Do you see, like, the Colorado Avalanche, John, were dead last 4 years ago, and now look at them. I got a bunch of texts last night. Oh, the Avalanche are going to win the Cup. Look at this. Look how good they are. Joe Sakic, great job. You've seen Florida turn it around. I mean, they had 9 years of messy stuff. When you look at the Canucks, John, how long before you see they can turn it around?
Oh, gosh. But I look at both of those franchises in totally different. I mean, any team that has Nathan McKinnon can turn it around. People in Vancouver would revolt 20 times over with what happened in Denver the last decade before everything happened. I mean, Gabriel Landeskog, first-round pick. Mikko Rantanen, first-round pick. Nathan McKinnon, the three of us would have gone scouting and saying, we like this McKinnon kid. He might be able to play. There are some times, and that team paid a price for a long time. I'm not sure Canuck fans would want to pay the price for that long a time. And listen, I know it's been rough. I know it's been tough in Vancouver, and the fan base demands a lot. But I'll tell you what, there are some building blocks in place that can make this work. Do I think that the Canucks are going to add somebody else in the organization on the management side? Probably. I could see them adding a president, which would probably help Jim a great deal, get back to what Jim's good at, and that's player evaluation and getting contracts done.
I think I've got this right, John. Do the Leafs play the Habs tonight, by any chance?
There is a rumor that we might have a hockey game in Southern Ontario. The bottom line is it's difficult to have a hockey game with no fans, but they're going to try to do it anyway.
Do you feel pangs? I do. Do you feel pangs of jealousy when you watch the American-based playoff games and you see people in the crowd? I know that there's a health crisis, and I get all that, but a little bit of jealousy when you watch those games, and then you watch the Jets and Oilers last night, and it wasn't that great to watch. And I think to myself, the crowd has or the lack of a crowd has a whole lot to do with that.
Oh, I'll tell you what. I'm not exaggerating. I was almost in tears last night post-game of the Carolina-Nashville hockey game. I never thought I'd ever say that publicly, but I was almost in tears when Alex Nedeljkovic, the goaltender for Carolina, ended up doing a player interview with Trip Tracy. It's on social media.
Okay.
It is fantastic. It is absolutely fantastic. And Nedeljkovic ended up talking to the fans, how much difference they made, and the fans roaring at every response. And when he spoke, they went to a whisper so they could hear him say it. Oh. It was absolutely fantastic. And that's why we're in this game, Donnie. That's what makes this game so good. And those 12,000 people in Raleigh last night, God, that looks like the hottest hockey hotbed in North America right now.
It does.
Who would have guessed that? Hey, what are the it might have been obvious, but what do the Jets do to shut down Connor McDavid so effectively?
Well, it's the same thing Montreal did pretty well during the season, was that if you let McDavid, with all his speed, get above, and I'm going to pull a Glenn Healy, 26.4 kilometers an hour, if you get that, and he can go through between the blue lines at that speed, he's going to kill you. And they made sure he couldn't. And whether it was Scheifele or whether it was Lowry or whether it was Neil Pionk, they made sure that Connor McDavid could not get any speed, and they forced him to the outside. If you allow him to play the game and within the dots, he's going to kill you. He will kill you. And last night, he was rarely between the dots.
We could go on and on. Thanks so much for this, John. Appreciate it. We'll talk to you next Thursday.
So next week, my dad was a geography teacher, Rick. So
great.
My dad was a geography teacher at South Okanagan Secondary School in Oliver, British Columbia. So we always had geography tests. So next week, we're going to have a giant test on where is Mazatlan.
Oh, good.
Ah, yeah. Nice. Very nice, John.
So the test will be on.
I'm ready. I will prepare like I do for this show every day of the week.
I'll make a prediction. Rick will fail. Thanks, John.
Have a great day, guys.
Thanks, John.
End of the workday tomorrow. John expects a decision on Travis Green.
Yeah, so that tells me just exactly what I said at the beginning of the show. They're going to talk today, probably sleep over it. He's optimistic. I'm optimistic. I think both sides want to get it done. Let's see if it happens.